Welcome back. In this video, we're going to continue our stealth archery. So we're going to pick up right where we left off. And we're going to head up past where we killed all the shadows. We'll cast Enhanced Sleep again. We'll switch to overhead mode. We can jump up and we can see what's going on inside the hospital. It's very freaky. We'll deal with that in a little bit. And we're going to go through the roof here and onto this tree roots. I don't know what this is exactly. Some sort of growth. And we're going to find the waypoint for the mausoleum.
They just got everywhere, didn't they?
So Shadowheart's going to be interested in that.
That might be worth a look.
And we're going to come running over to this edge, but we're not going to go down. So we're going to take a look at our, we don't have any fire in our inventory, so we're going to grab some alchemist fire and we'll send it to Asterion. And what we want to do, there's a big ambush down here and we want to reveal where the opponents are. So we're just going to throw on this edge. All right, and that's going to reveal all of the Koa'Toa that we've got here. And they're all surprised because they were planning on surprising us. So we'll cast Guidance to bring that psychic damage back. And Shadow Curse things don't seem to react when we shoot them. So this is, pretty literally shooting fish in a barrel. So we're shooting these fish guys, and they're not going to fight back. If we were to get within sight of them, they definitely would. Alright, so that's that side. And you can see these guys are worth 90 apiece, except for the leaders, which are worth a little bit more. And again, no kill order required here, just shoot them till they go down. And cast Guidance again when we need to. And that's just to increase the amount of damage we're doing for speed. Stealth archery is absurdly powerful in Baldur's Gate 3, and we're not at all trying to optimize it, so we're not trying to use any of the additional stealth options to make us hard to detect, like improved invisibility or pass without a trace. This guy can actually be shot through the hole in the roof. And this guy is targetable from up here, although getting the aim right can be a bit of a challenge. We can tell we're hitting him from all the damage that's flying up. All right. And that's the Koa'Toa raid entirely, and quite a bit of experience. We'll cast Featherfall, and we're going to jump down and have a look at what they've got. So the chief, and there are two of them here, have these lightning jabbers, which are javelins that do lightning damage, and they carry a bunch of gems. So we're going to grab both of these lightning jabbers that add a D4 lightning, and that's going to be the primary weapon that we'll use for Lazelle for a while. The rest of the Koa'Toa have a bunch of sort of alchemical components and seashells and some gold and just otherwise kind of junk. But we're going to head into this cave, the ominous crevice, which is
Interesting.
just to the west of them. All right, so in here, we're going to find this pit full of uh, ugly acid and steam and stuff. And there's another ambush down here that we're going to run into. And rather than trigger it with ourselves, we're going to trigger it with a mage hand. And because Asterian's mage hand starts off invisible, we're just going to go ahead and shove Asterian. So now we have a visible mage hand.
Well, hello.
And we'll crouch with Asterian and bring the mage hand over to the pit, and we're just going to fly down right into the center next to this armor, which will promptly animate and kill us. And we're very surprised, or would be if we weren't metagaming. All right, so that's done. We'll cast Enhanced Sleep. We'll cast Guidance.
On my way.
And we're going to jump onto this platform where they have no way of getting to, so there's nothing that would connect it to this. And we're just going to start shooting at this armor. And we have absolutely terrible chance to hit. It's so hard. It's got a super high armor class. It is literally made of armor. So once combat starts, we're just going to end our turn with a hide.
Let's find some prey.
And again, it doesn't really matter which one we kill first. When the armor dies, however, it's going to leave a shadow, like a literal shadow, like the ones we've been fighting earlier.
On the hunt. Ready or not? Into the shadows.
And if we don't give it a target, it's going to stay right where it was.
We'll do it my way.
These slime pod things are surprisingly mobile. They have a lot of movement.
Leave no trace.
And the armor monster is quite hard to hit. So depending on your group consistency, this can be a bit of a surprise battle down in the middle of this pit, hard to get in and out of, with a heavily armored opponent and some slime monsters that will throw slime at you and will move around quite a lot. So this is another great opportunity for using the terrain to our advantage.
Now they see me.
So because they can't find a path to Asterian's shadow, they just basically hang out waiting for us to kill them.
Just like old times.
And we can see the sight cone where the shadow is, so we'll take a shot at the shadow.
Let's have a little fun.
And you can see that it's not actually in combat, so it just automatically healed. And that's something that sometimes happens in Grimforge as well, is that there'll be an opponent that's not in the fight, and even attacking them doesn't get them in the fight. The game is just bugged. And one of the unfortunate impacts of running these types of strategies is that we'll run into edge cases where the game doesn't handle stuff particularly well.
Just like old times.
Like, you know, shooting someone doesn't make them angry, it just makes them heal themselves fully. And we'll cast Guidance again to increase our damage a little bit, and then we'll just try and kill the shadow. it doesn't know where to go or what to do. And that's that. Okay, so that's everybody down there. That's all the slimes in the shadow. And we'll cast Featherfall and come take a look at what we've got, which is this protective plate armor. And we'll just send that to Lizelle as well. We'll probably sell it. We don't really need it. And we'll pop back to the Grand Mausoleum waypoint.
I'm so tired. How do people do this all day?
All right, so we can see from here that Raphael is hanging out waiting to talk to us. And we've leveled to level 8. There is not a lot of other simple combat here waiting, so we're going to start grabbing the last of the waypoints that we might want. So we're going to jump back to the Road to Baldur's Gate waypoint, and I'll go get the waypoint for Moonrise Towers. And we're going to run past the House of Healing. And we'll loot some of these folks that we shot earlier.
A quick rummage.
Here's another set for equipment that does heat. That's the Barbarian Mechanic for Karlach. That's a sort of intended playstyle, but we're not using it. This guy's got a bomb. Always great to find somebody with a bomb. We're going to need a lot of bombs before the end of the game, so happy to get them whenever we can. Karnas here had a magical sword, and I don't know always if people are getting the exact same amount of experience as I'm getting, so I'm not going to level up quite yet. And we'll pad that a little bit to make sure that when I'm doing something, you've got the same level of resources that I've got. All right, so we will find the waypoint here to Moonrise Towers. And we've got a little time left in the video, so what we can do is we can start on getting rid of some bosses if we wanted to, or we can do a short quest for Asterion to grab an interesting item. So rather than starting to do the sub-bosses, I'll jump to Last Light In.
Jahira wants to know about supplies.
And we'll head down north and then east onto this rocky bridge, which will come across to this thing that says turn back. We're protected from the Shadow Curse, so we don't care. This is one of the first areas we find where the Shadow Curse is particularly powerful. And we'll come in this door and lockpick this chest. Asterion has advantage on all dex checks because of the armor he's wearing, so easily done. And we've got this armor, which is going to give us a stealth bonus, but that's not why we're here. We'll grab some money, and there are some routes that we can climb down into the basement. Down here we find some mean locks. These guys have a fear aura. When they hit you, it can paralyze you. They're really spread out and pretty dangerous to deal with. We could kill them. The easy way to do so is to minor illusion them into a cluster and then fireball them with kind of every character in your party. But the only thing that we get out of that is a piece of headgear that is going to cause your crit level to drop by 1. It's good, but not so good that we absolutely need it. This chest is trapped, and we failed the perception check for it. So before we open it, we'll make sure that we've got enough health to survive the damage. This particular chest trap does a lot of damage, an unusually high amount. And we'll take this ring. And this ring, when we do spell damage while we're illuminated by a light source, we do radiating orb for a couple of turns. There's a whole build around radiating orb that can drop opponents to hit levels by a ton. We'll pick this door. The key is behind the mean locks if we didn't have it. And we'll grab this smoke powder barrel and some thieves' tools. We can see that the wall is cracked. If we were to get arrested for some reason, this is how we would get out of the jail. And there's another exit over here, which would come out behind the mean locks if we wanted to try to come in behind them. So we'll jump back to last light. So we were really just about the smoke barrel and the item.
How's the barricade coming? Got to have a plan first. Got to trust your hero to
Let me see if there's anything else we can do. There's a potential to do some detection work, so we'll go ahead and hit camp. And we're going to want to recruit Shadowheart.
Poor Kolak. She can finally seek out the touch of another, only to be told she might not have much time left.
And we'll talk about night orchids while we're here.
Rings a bell? Why? Oh, hells. You didn't pick that by hand, did you? They're deadly poisonous. Joking. They're safe. And beautiful. Thank you. I don't have anything to give you in return, I'm afraid.
We'll just say that we don't expect anything in return.
Well, perhaps I can come up with something later, all the same.
And we'll ask her to join.
Your dance card is full. Lose a partner and there'll be room for me.
And we'll have her take Astarion's place.
Wonderful. I was beginning to feel a little left out.
So we'll go to our group inventory and take a look at Astarion. And we'll have him swap out his Dex armor, grab the rest of his equipment, and we'll send pretty much everything. Oops, we're going to grab the smoke powder barrel and send that to camp, and we'll grab the rest of it and send it to Alfira. And it's just a little bit too much weight for us, so we'll see what it is that we're carrying around that's such a burden. And it looks like we can take the returning pike and we'll send that to Lizelle. I think this is the spider egg sac that we never used in Act 1, so we'll just send that to camp. Maybe we'll pull that out for a lark at some point in time, and that's enough weight for now. And we will head to the last light in. And we're gonna head over to the cemetery. And mind these traps, they are explosive. In theory, your characters should path around them. In practice, sometimes they'll run over them. I don't know why. And our goal is going to be up here on this hill, and what we want to do is see if we can detect it. So we will equip our guidance amulet, break the party apart, and fail at our perception check.
There is work to do.
We'll try it again with Shadowheart.
I'll take this way.
She's got a pretty high wisdom, so she's got our best shot. And we found it.
What's that? Flaming fist. Someone beat her to a pulp.
And this flaming fist is so beaten that we can't speak with dead on it. I think so, but we get this blazing shield, and we'll check. I can't remember for sure. So we can put on our amulet of lost voices, and you see that
The corpse remains silent.
we can't talk to it. But this corpse was beaten to death by a traitor to the cause. If we leave this area the other direction, this is where we'll eventually be defending Halcyon as he attempts to fix the shadow curse.
No traps, please.
And there's boxes and buckets all over here, and there's a hidden item right here. We can also see up on the corner one of the tieflings that we're going to want to talk to after we try to save the tieflings and the gnomes from Moonrise Towers. Alright, so that's going to be it for this episode. If we want, we could sell off some equipment we were not using. But we're going to head to the last light waypoint. And in the next video, we're going to explore the Ketheric tomb and then start dealing with the sub-bosses in the area. I will catch you there. Thanks for watching.